First Chapter Fridays. I'm Miss Karen, the Children's Librarian at the Oakmont Carnegie Library. We are having a bonus First Chapter Fridays today. I'm talking about the Choose Your Own Adventure series. So parents, you're going to remember these, I'm guessing. These originated in 1976, and these are something that we enjoyed as children actually because they're really, really fun. It's a series of children's books where each story is written from a second-person point of view, with the reader assuming the role of the protagonist and making choices that determine the main character's actions and the plot's outcome. So basically, you choose what happens based on your decisions. The series was based upon a concept created by Edward Packard and originally published in 1976. The original book was Sugarcane Island. I don't know if any of you have read that one. So we've got a lot of these in the library. They're mostly for ages 10 and up. That's the recommended age, but they do have a series for younger kids that's also Choose Your Own Adventure with a lot more pictures, and they're really fun too. And today I am reading the classic Abominable Snowman, up to the first decision. So you can see that's the cover there. Ours is kind of beat up, so I'm not going to show this one to you. These are old schooly, let me tell you, with the original card pocket. So you know I've had these for a while, but some of them are out of print, so they're hard to get. You can see we've got a printed map roughly drawn at the beginning of the Abominable Snowman, giving you an idea of where you are. And here's a picture of you at the beginning. You are a mountain climber. 3 years ago, you spent the summer at a climbing school in the mountains of Colorado. Your instructors said that you had natural skills as a climber. You made rapid progress, and by the end of the summer, you were leading difficult rock and ice climbs. That summer, you became close friends with a boy named Carlos. The two of you made a good climbing team. Last year, you and he were chosen to join an international team. The expedition made it to the top of the 2 unclimbed peaks in South America. One night at that expedition, the group was seated around a cook tent at the base camp. The expedition leader, Franz, told stories of climbing in the Himalayas. And you can see they have like all the different mountains there and their altitudes, their heights. The highest mountains in the world. They form a great natural wall between India and China, with Nepal tucked in amid the peaks. Everest, K2, and Annapurna, I'm sorry if I mispronounced, are the best-known mountains in the Himalayas. These and many other peaks have been climbed. Still, others lie in remote areas where few men have gone. There, said Franz, in the high valleys beneath the snowfields lives the Yeti, sometimes called the Abominable Snowman. The Yeti is said to be a huge beast, like a cross between a gorilla and a man. Franz told of how people who have seen the Yeti cannot agree on what it is like. Some say the Yeti is dangerous, ready to carry off the unwary. Others say the Yeti is gentle. The best evidence is the existence of the Yeti is large footprints discovered in the 1950s by a British expedition. No one has ever photographed a Yeti. No one has ever really seen one of these creatures, but the stories persist. So this will be our last page until we get to our first decision. You and Carlos decided then and there to find the Yeti. When you returned from South America, the two of you raised money from the International Foundation for Research into Strange Phenomena. Your goal: proof positive that Yeti exist. You will find a photograph of the Yeti. You will find and photograph the Yeti. And that is what brings you to Kathmandu, the capital of Nepal. Your problems, though, have already begun. 2 days ago, Carlos left by helicopter to look over the terrain near Mount Everest. The helicopter returned without him. The pilot told you that Carlos decided to stay up at the Everest base camp for the night to check out a report that a Yeti had been seen. He had a radio transmitter, but you have received no word from him. The weather turned bad and radio communication was interrupted. You have written for an appointment to speak with R.N. Runel, the Director of Expeditions and Mountain Research, and an authority on the Yeti. You have told him of your plans. You need permits for the expedition and advice and information from Runel. But what about Carlos? If you decide to cancel your meeting with Runel and search for Carlos, turn to page 5. If you feel that Carlos is okay and go ahead with your plan to meet Runel, then turn to page 6. So what would you decide to do? There are so many decisions and so many endings to this book. So, thank you for joining me for another First Chapter Friday. Make sure you check into our catalog at oakmontlibrary.org and check out some of the Choose Your Own Adventure keyword search books. We'll see you next week.